talking about what's your game and how it happened. Please, Norman.
Would you say they choked?
Oh, I can't say that, Paul.
No, they didn't choke.
Strictly off the record.
I think they expected to win. They
They
played
did.
like they expected to win, not that they wanted to win. They expected to win.
Played like favourites, yeah.
No, so nothing from me, Dave.
We were 270 overnight.
Just jingle straight to Paul.
That's what killed them. They got off to a flyer. I think because you blokes must have restricted them so much that game before that they went out with a mindset, let's not get involved in them. And they went going.
You're going to mention the medalists in these. The Stephen Lee medalist was Stallworthy and
Dwayne Bowden.
Dwayne Bowden, yeah, I know.
what's the second one called? The Decoit one.
Yeah, the Decoit one.
That's from
Stephen Lee, and then there's the Ken Udding.
Ken Udding from Monbach. Ken Udding medal.
Ken Udding. Spot on, right?
I'll write that down.
Yeah.
I better do that.
Gentlemen, when that comes on, we're alive to air then, and we haven't got a dump button, so don't drop the F-bomb.
Tell you what, Norm, I saw that Norm Reed shield last week, mate. Big shield, huge big photo on the front. Not much room to put the bloody clubs. You might have to downsize that photo, mate.
Norm had a few drinks on that shield last week too.
Did you?
Rightio. What?
Good morning, and here's today's weather. There will be morning cloud, increasing sunshine during the day. Winds will be south-easterly 15 to 20 k's, tending southerly in the late afternoon, then becoming light in the evening. Temperature will reach a high of 23 degrees. Tomorrow will be a sunny day with a high of 27 degrees. Thank you, and that's the weather.
Yeah, boys, have a good show.
Looking forward to your last show next week, Carl.
Yeah.
Let him sing a
I'll
bit.
bet.
Let him sing a bit.
Thank you.
See you, mate.
Thanks, Carl.
Have a good day today.
Down 5-4.
5, 4.
3, 2, 1.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome again to the local cricket show, where we are here today to preview the FTGDCA Grand Finals and also do a short review on the finals for the Ferntree and District Cricket Association. That's the Norm Reeves Shield and the Bob Decoit Shield. But before we go around the table and say hello to our panel this morning, I'd like to say hello to Sharon out there at Ferntree Gully. So Sharon knows who she is, and I think everybody in the Ferntree Gully Association knows who Sharon is. So good morning, Sharon.
Thanks
Right.
for listening.
And yes, she listens every week, so thanks for that. All right, let's go now and talking about Ferntree Gully and District Cricket Association and the Norm Reeves Shields. Here's the doyen of cricket from over in that direction, Mr. Norm Reeves himself. Good morning, Norm.
Good morning, and congratulations to JP on a great grand final win on last Sunday. And we got Bryn here this morning to talk about that game, and of course he got 61. Should have got 100, but just couldn't get over the line.
We just took it too easy. You got to 60 and thought, how easy's this?
Oh, you obviously weren't there then.
Hey?
You weren't there.
You told me about it.
Yeah, he could have been out on 10.
That's that man.
We'll talk about that.
That man who just keeps interrupting all the time is Mr. Wayne Brasho. Morning, Wayne.
Good morning, Paul. How are you? I'm well, thanks.
And we also have the star of the show from last week's grand final, absolute superstar with the bat, and you just didn't do anything wrong, the whole team, but all on your shoulders, Bryn. They all followed your example of going out and making a brilliant 61, Mr. Bryn Gort.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. It was a great win, and looking forward to talking about it with the guys today.
We'll do that, and also from our panel from last week, the only man that picked Johnson Park to win, Mr. Ray Baird.
Good morning, and good morning to Wilco out there. I was the only one that stuck with you, mate.
You're sucking up to Wilco again. Jeez, what do you do? You're looking for a job there, Ray, eh, or what?
Listen,
All right, let's...
Ray, I think I mentioned to you, if you win the toss bat first, get the runs on the board.
Yeah,
If you win the toss,
that first and get runs on the board, and then you picked Eildon Park.
that team's going to win.
Then you picked Eildon Park. Don't come in here changing your tip from 1 week to the next. Anyhow, let's have a look at this game from last week. And Eildon Park, a 137 is all they made off their 74.5 overs, and they were chasing Johnson Park's score of 184. Rash, or Bryn, both of you?
Right, for Johnson Park, man sitting next to me, Bringort, made a fine 61, ably assisted by David Devenish, who came in at a very crucial time and dug in and scored a very valuable 24 not out. In the bowling, Kyle Snyman, who I thought bowled extremely well in this game. He started off very slowly. He looked injured, but I tell you what, he got better as the innings progressed. He finished with 4 for 51. Mick Sinclair, ever reliable, 2 for 16, and Adrian Balchashitis, 2 for 27. Whilst for Johnson Park, probably the man of the match award, which was the Stephen Lee medal, went to Ben Storby for his bowling performance of 28 overs, 11 maidens, 3 for 39. And Stephen Devenish bowled an excellent spell with of spin bowling with the ball, 16.5 overs, 3 maidens, 3 for 37. And the top score for Eildon Park was John Doak with 32. And really, in my eyes, it was a great victory for Johnson Park. But not only was it a victory for the established senior players, but I think it was a big victory for the junior boys that played an integral part in this victory. Trent Barrington, Jordan Dunstone, Cameron Burke, all these are young guys that are trying to make their way in this squad, and they played an integral part, especially in their fielding. They took some fantastic outfield catches, which inevitably won the game for Johnson Park, but also the bowling of Ben Storworthy, who bowled very, very good lines. And Steve Devenish, if Eildon Park needed to try and take to a bowler, they had to take to him. But unfortunately, he dropped on a line which was basically making it impossible for Eildon Park to score off. In Eildon Park's performance, I think they bowled very well. I think it was a game of two halves on both days. I thought Johnson Park dominated the first session on the first day. Eildon Park hit back in the second session. On day 2, I thought it was Eildon Park that, same deal. They were in charge for the first part of the session, but Johnson Park were always threatening. They were probably, scores were relatively even at both tea breaks, but I thought that with the lack of batting that Eildon Park had throughout the year, I had a feeling it was going to come back and haunt them, and I think it did, because after the tea break, Johnson Park got into their middle order and exposed it very quickly. And then basically within a twinkling of the eye, the game had sort of slipped away. One of the things I thought that, not from a want of anything, but just a personal observation, I thought Eildon Park played the game as thinking that they expected to win, whilst I think Johnson Park went out there wanting to make it happen. I think that was one of the key differences that I saw. And speaking to Cameron after the game, he was a little bit disappointed in the batting with some of his batsmen that didn't come to play, and rued some drop catches, namely dropping Bryn on 10, which cost them, he said, another 40, 50 runs, which could have been the difference. I think that may at times draw a long bow, because you just don't know what's going to happen after that. Other players can step up. But by and large, look, I think it was a great grand final result for Johnson Park. And Bryn, I'll put it over to you. Did you? It was never a game that Johnson Park ever thought that they were going to win until you got that last wicket.
Yeah, well, we know that Eildon Park are a really good side, Wayne, and I think you summarised perfectly. Johnson Park had a fantastic first session. We were 101 for 2 at sea on the first day, and we're right on top, looking at a score of probably 220, and that's an enormous score because the ground's big and extremely slow at the moment. With the we got very hard to hit the ball on the ground, and to get 184, I was quietly confident that if we bowled and fielded well, we'd create 10 chances. It didn't go that way in the first morning either. We dropped Ben Morris in the first over, who's a class player, and that's a worrying sign to drop a really good and big finals player. But you mentioned our young guys really stepped up. So Tom Nash getting
Yep.
out Ben Morris, Trent Barrington getting out Cody Morris. These are moments those guys will never forget, including myself as an older guy, and that's what it's all about, finals. You need guys to step up. Then there was an amazing catch, I thought, Trent Barrington took on the boundary to get rid of Nathan Hicks just before tee. So 3 for 75 at tee, chasing 184 in a grand final. It's 50-50, but again, I'd prefer the runs on the board. And the first hour after tee, Marty Waitman and Ben Storworthy, I don't remember a bad ball. I think the next 20 overs went for less than 20 runs, and we knocked over 2 wickets. So when you're sitting at 5 for 90 in a grand final with 20 overs to go, I thought we're on top then, but the final catch that I thought we were home is when Stephen Pym got caught on the boundary by Jordan Dunstan. It was an amazing catch in the outfield. He probably didn't look like catching it when the ball was in the air, but he took it in on one bite. And then to look at the scores for Johnson Park to bowl 75 overs and hold Eildon Park to 137 was an amazing effort. But in finals, it's all about runs on the board, as Norm said, and I think even 160, 170 is something to bowl at. So it was just probably a little bit too many runs I think Johnson Park got in the first session on the first day.
It was certainly a very good game. Now, Norm, you went down and had a look at this, obviously.
I was there on the Saturday, couldn't make it interstate on Sunday.
On the Sunday, but on the Saturday?
Well, yeah, look...
What did you see there on the Saturday that impressed you?
Well, I agree with Bryn. All grand finals, I think if you win the toss, you put pressure on the opposition straight away if you can get a decent score. And look, and as Bryn said, 184 was probably worth 230 at Eildon Park, and they slogged it out, and they fought back. Eildon Park, but Johnson Park regrouped later in the innings, and put together a couple of little partnerships there that set the game up. And as Bryn said, 184 is a super score. But knowing Eildon Park, they've been up there all the year with a great batting side, but they fell away, and that's due to pressure from the bowling and bowlers and very good fielding, outfielding as well. So yeah, that's why cricket is played in finals, and we could see that today in the RDCA, who knows? But, if you get 200, it's always going to be a winning score in finals.
One of the other things I noticed too, Paul, on the second day, Johnson Park obviously were bowling the lines that even the Morris boys were struggling to get away. And it just felt to me that not that there wasn't a sense of urgency, but I just thought that the Eildon Park batting went into their shell, and the only batsman that really showed any sort of intent on the second day that threatened to sort of take the innings by the scruff of the neck was Nathan Hicks, until he was brilliantly caught on the boundary by Trent Barrington, which I may say was a humongous catch, because he had to make up 15-20 metres and basically dived going forward, and it stuck. I really thought that from that moment on, I thought a sense of belief came into the Johnson Park Cricket Club. I thought once they got that catch, they knew they were right in the contest. Just quickly, Brendan, we're talking about a couple of the younger guys, and this guy probably flies under the radar a little bit because of the fact that his two brothers seem to hog all the limelight. But young David Devonish, he doesn't get much kudos, and he probably hasn't had much of a go considering his brothers. But let's not underestimate his 24 not out in this innings.
Yeah, it's spot on, Wayne. I look at Dave, and he's in his early 20s. He's now got 3 premierships in the first, but not only has he played in the 3, he's had really big games in all 3. The first one, he batted for a couple of hours before tea when we defeated Upway. He batted through the innings when we defeated Upper Gully, and that 24 not out on a slow ground when wickets are falling around you was a real... I'd say the underrated innings of the match when you look at the scores. So David Devonish would be happy to say he's played a huge role again in a grand final, and he doesn't really say much, Dave, so it was great to see you give him some recognition there, Wayne.
Over to you, Paul.
All right, now, as we say, that was a fantastic grand final, and let's not forget the Eildon Park. I mean, we've spoken a lot about Johnson's Park this morning, how they won. Eildon Park have had a fantastic season, and all credit to them to get there. And I would have to congratulate Cole Davey. as president down there for hosting that final. When admittedly I got there very late in the day, but just the way it was all set up and the hospitality shown by Eildon Park was second to none. So congratulations to them for that. Let's go on now and have a look at Bob de Coit Shield, the grand final there. Mountain Gate defeated Ferntree Gully footballers.
Yeah, look, on day one, footballers won the toss and decided to bat, and they were bowled out for 140. Ben Rawlings top scored with 45, Thuranga Lakshita 29. The bowling was shared in for Mountain Gate. Josh Lynn at 12.1 overs, 3 maidens, 3 for 23. Marshall Bunting, 16 overs, 5 maidens, 3 for 38. And Cameron Wheeler, 15 overs, 4 maidens, 3 for 38. In reply, Mountain Gate were really made to work for their grand final pennant. They finally passed. They passed Mountain Gate 6 down for 145. John Razakis 44. Dwayne Bowden, man of the match, the Ken Harding medal for 41 not out. Bowling for footballers, the Thuranga Lakshita 19.1 overs, 4 maidens, 3 for 74. And Dale Cranston 5 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 34. And Norm, I think that in looking at this result, it's actually a good result for Mountain Gate because all year Marshall Bunting and Cameron Wheeler have played pivotal roles in the majority of their victories. And in this game, they only contributed 10 runs with the bat, even though they took 6 wickets with the ball. But it was the second tier, Razakis and Bowden, that stole the show in this match.
Yeah, look, we've said all along, all the year Mountain Gate have been the kingpins there and thoroughly deserved their victory. We were thinking, if football's had a style in that game, it would have been a big setback for Mountain Gate. But look, they come up and I think they'll perform pretty well. They've got a very good bowling side and they've got plenty of experience there as well. So, yeah, I think they're going to... They'll set their side up, and if they can pick up maybe 1 or 2 players, they're going to be around the shield scene for quite some time. How do you look, Stephen Ben?
Well, they've had a fantastic year this year, Mountain Gate. They have not lost a game. Would have been highway robbery if Ferntree Gully had taken that one of them. Haven't lost a game. They drew one game, won every other game. So they have had a fantastic season. Yeah, if they can keep that side together. And they can build on that. They may need to recruit 1 or 2, but they're a pretty good all-round side. They're a good batting side. They're a good bowling side. Doesn't need a lot of improvement there. Perhaps just a little tweak and pick up 1 player or 2 players, and I think they'll be very competitive, wouldn't they, Gwen?
How do you see them, Bryn?
Yeah. With Mountain Gate, they've got the star all-rounders we've talked about, but I think the main thing when you go up is you need a couple of top-order batsmen, and the Basin showed by picking up Scott Vozzo. They won a flag in Decoit and ended up top this year and had a great season. It's not far away. The Premier in Mountain Gate, I think, Norm, if they picked up a top order batsman, I think they could make the finals next year.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think they're not far away.
Well, congratulations to Mountain Gate. Once again, nearly the perfect season bar the draw.
All right, we'll just go quickly through the other grades. And in Division 3, Knox Gardens defeated the Basin. In Division 4,
Listerfield were defeated by
Knox Baronia Churches. Division 5, Knox Gardens were defeated by Ferntree Gully. And Division 6, Upway Tacoma defeated Ferntree Gully footballers. Division 7, Monbulk defeated the Basin, and in
the B grade
one day grade, yes, Waverley Wanderers defeated Johnson Park.
Defeated by Johnson Park, 8 for 251.
And Roval were defeated by Eildon Park. So that's our wrap for the Ferntree Gully and District Cricket Association.
And just before we go, Norm, you got any final thoughts on just the Ferntree Gully season in general?
Well, I think it highlighted just how close the season was, and I'm sure Brent will agree on that. For the whole season, the bottom sides were knocking over the top sides, which was a good sign, and I think we've got a lot of young players coming through, so I think it all looks well for 2015-16, Brent.
Yeah, I agree, Norman. The comp is very even at the moment. I think you'll find that any of the top 4 sides, like Johnson Park finishing 4th, could have won the grand final. I'm sure that will continue. And just lastly, to Wayne and the rest of the guys for having me on the show. If anyone has any feedback on how we can improve the show, have a word to Norm, Wayne, or myself, or Ray and Paul, and we look forward to the show going on to bigger and better things next year.
Yeah, well said.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will take a break now, and we will then come back with the RDCA panel and guests.
So much. Thank you.
You having a coffee?
We are.
Right.
We are.
I'll see you for a coffee.
You're right, mate.
Ray, you take my seat. You hang around, Normie, for a coffee?